I'm to try to process my weekend. Um, it might be too early because I still feel like I'm dead inside. Um, I had a patient that was Baker acted by the police, which is always like, oh shit. He was a 90-year-old man, and I guess he has some dementia. Found him wandering one of these home improvement store parking lots, and I guess somebody called about him because he was like just wandering and like appeared to be disheveled and lost. Excuse me. The cops came and he proceeded to become aggressive and fight them and everything like this. So they had to, I guess when the EMS gets there, they have to sedate him. And then the cops Baker acted him. I guess there's only a few people who can Baker act. I think it's cops, doctors, and psychiatrists, I think. Anyways, Baker Act means that they're held for psych reasons or aggressive mental health reasons. I think it's for 72 hours. And they can't leave. It's like they don't have the freedom to leave. So anyways, this guy's always trying to freaking leave. So he's my patient on Sunday. He's the kind of guy that I guess he worked 40 years building bridges and stuff like that. So he was like a strong person, and he was strong. But at one point in the morning, it was first thing in the morning, we had like 5 people in this room. Now, granted, I have 6 patients, okay? One of them's getting ready to go to surgery. I can't even remember the other ones at this point. One is going to be discharged, whatever. But we have 5 people in this room. And I'd already given him a dose of this Ativan. And he's up fighting people. He's trying to take off, and he can't. Like, legally, he can't. And plus, he's not stable. Even without the drugs, he's not that stable. And we don't want him to fall and break his head, which sometimes you wonder if that's more humane, because what we have to do is we have to try to restrain him. We can't restrain people on the floor. You can't restrain them physically, and technically you can't restrain them chemically, but we restrain people chemically all the freaking time, because the only place that can restrain people is the ICU. So at some point, it's 5 people. He's scratched his daughter, his daughter. He's hit 2 different techs, females, by the way, harassed another female sexually in a horrible way. Tried to swing at me, tried to swing at this other male. I don't know what happens to me other than like, because I'm the nurse. I'm supposed to be the one that's fucking in charge of this whole thing. And I'm like, I'm not a fucking cop, I feel like I went to school to be a nurse, and I'm like, I'm having to do all this like cop shit, and I don't want to be a fucking cop. And yeah, I do know how to talk with people when they're in these certain states. You know how to kind of de-escalate them, but you can't de-escalate someone with dementia who's been given drugs. They're not de-escalatable, if that's a word. So who the hell knows? So I call the doctor and I'm like, dude, this is what's going on. So he orders a particular injection. I have to give a shot, which is fine. But they had to take 4 people to hold him down for me to give him a shot. And he almost got loose. And I almost hit this shot into my hand, which would have put me out for the day, which I would have been happy, because then I'd be like, see ya. Anyways, that shot lasted for like maybe 30, 40 minutes. That's it. And he's back at it. So I talked to the doctor. It'd been close to an hour. And he said, okay, give another one of those. So I give another dose. I had given 2 rounds of Ativan, actually, and now this is the second round of this other drug. It's a drug combo. He lasts, I think, about maybe an hour. So now he's still fighting and trying to swing his legs over the bed and get out. But he's like inebriated, but yet he's still, And I looked at this person, I thought, this person, this is what it looks like for a human being to have a very strong willpower, which is kind of gross when you look at it, because it's like when a human doesn't know when to let go. And I could attest to having that tendency. When a human being does not know how to let go and just go with the flow, it's a horrible situation to watch. And I guess that's kind of what humans do in life, with various aspects of their life. When a person doesn't know how to let go and go with the flow, it's like, and they try to control everything and fight everything. It's like it gets really ugly. And yeah, it did. It got really ugly. And then, of course, then the daughter's crying and freaking out. And I'm having to like manage the medical part and that stuff. And I'm trying to help manage her experience and what's going on with her. And she's talking to me this and that. And I have 5 fucking other patients. Okay. And then I'm in the middle of holding this guy down before I give him a shot, and my phone's blowing up. And I don't usually always answer it when I'm in a situation like that. Sometimes I absolutely cannot. But I just thought, Jesus, because I had a patient I knew was coming back from surgery, and yeah, that's who it was. I'm in there trying to fight this patient, hold him down. And they're like, yeah, this patient's coming back from surgery. We did this and that. And then the orders are put in, and she needs this. And she could hear some yelling. And I said, I'm sorry, I'm just in the middle of trying to fight another patient, hold him down. It's like these nurses or people who leave the floor or who've never worked on the floor don't have any idea that when they call us, it's not like I'm sitting at a desk and I'm just one by one seeing a patient, one by one by one, and my time's all scheduled, 1 hour for you. No, I mean, it's like, it's a shit show all the time. I mean, I'm always in the middle of so many things. Like I can't even, I think I almost cried this morning. Tears almost came up, which is like a miracle, because I've gotten to where I can't cry. I can't even cry. And I'm not taking any medicines, and I don't take any medicine. It's not like I'm numbed out from that. But I think it's so much. And I didn't get a lunch both days this weekend. And actually on Sunday I had heard a rumor that our numbers were in such and such a way that they should have sent a nurse home. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Send a fucking nurse home. How do these numbers they come up with are just so fucking retarded? They don't give a shit about the nurses and the patients, because when the nurses are stressed to the fucking max, pushed over the edge, those patients don't get any care. They don't get any care. And we're not protected. I mean, that's just one person that was my patient. There's another fucker they had to call a code bird on today. He's going in people's rooms. He's like threatening us. It just gets to the point where like it just rolls off your back. Or I know it goes in somewhere because I feel numb as fuck, but it's just like, where do I work? What am I doing? And it's just, the point is I tried to escalate my patient situation so we could, because he needed an MRI, and I'm like, he can't have an MRI because they thought he might have had a CVA, a stroke. He can't do an MRI because he won't sit still. I mean, he would never sit still there. So I'm trying to escalate it up, try to, talk to the doctor, and then the doctor passes it back to the house supervisor, and then the house pushes it back to the doctor. The doctor has to call the ICU doctor, because I mean, the only place you can restrain a person is ICU. So I'm like, so here's the situation. Of course, it takes a long time for them to get back to me, and I'm just like, that's probably pretty much a no. Anyways, I contacted the doctor, and he's like, no, we just need a sitter. And I'm like, this isn't about a sitter situation, because we had the granddaughter in the room the whole time. I mean, yes, she's not a medical person, but neither are sitters. Sitters aren't medical people. I mean, a lot of them are just people they pull off the street that are willing to, or some of them may be nursing students. I don't know, but still, it's the bottom of the rung kind of job you can have in medical field. So people probably aren't that skilled at like handling high crisis, high conflict situations. And I'm not speaking anything bad about that. It's just, that was their solution. And so it had to be like escalated to like, and before the sitter, okay, even to get a sitter, had to be escalated to like my manager. My manager had to escalate it up to the CNO, the chief nursing officer, to get a sitter for a patient that is already assaulted like 4 people. And this is the environment. And then they're talking about sending a nurse home because we're overstaffed. And then they took one of our techs away in the middle of the day. It's just like, and because we had to have a sitter for this patient, they were going to take another tech would have had only one tech on the floor for 30 patients, which would have put even more load on the nurses. And the family was still in this room, and I said, look, this is a situation. This is no pressure on you. But the family wanted to stay there. I said, but if you stay in here, would you be willing to do these things? Okay, and I kind of give them some instructions. And they seemed to be close. Like it was his brother or something. And I mean, they loved him and everything. And, are you willing to do these things? And if this happens, if he swings his legs over the bed, just swing them back, okay? But if it gets beyond that, or you feel threatened or scared in any way, not threatened, but scared or worried in any way, you hit the call light, okay? You hit the call light, and we'll come running. I said, because we don't have a sitter, we have to take one of our techs, and that will leave only one tech on the floor. That's just the way the medical field is right now. Healthcare is completely short-staffed all the time. And I told them just straight up front. And I said, but there's no pressure. We could have a sitter in here. And they said, no. It was a woman and her husband. And they were totally willing to do it. So I was like grateful. I mean, I was grateful for that. So we got to keep a tech. But I mean, it's just this fucking amount of shit they expect us to do. I mean, these people are sick. I mean, all kinds of, I got 5 other patients, and other patients had all this fluid pulled off of her abdomen on Friday. And I mean, if the techs aren't helping me, I cannot keep accurate count of the inputs and outputs. I'm too busy. I mean, if somebody doesn't write that down and record it, I mean, I'm missing it because I'm not in the fucking room all day because I'm in somebody else's fucking room. And so by the end of the night, they really want to know inputs. I'm like, fuck, I have to go in there and just try to, guesstimate because the tech's not doing it. Probably they're not doing it because they're already busy. And I mean, I can't do accurate ins and outputs. And if the doctor's upset, I'm fuck them because come up here and try to do this shit. And, and her abdomen's filling up again and whatever. And so they're probably going to have to tap her again. And and then she's diabetic, but she's eating sugar. I just was like, who brought you Pepsi? Who brought you Pepsi? You're diabetic. Well, I'm not going to tell you who brought me Pepsi because I don't want to be, I'm not a tattletale. I'm just like, this is not about being a tattletale. I said, I don't need to bust the chops of whoever did it. I mean, yeah, I'd like to tell them not to do that, but you're diabetic. I mean, even though Diet Pepsi's shitty too, and it still raises your blood sugar, I guess it's better than real Pepsi. I mean, and she's like sick with the cirrhosis of her liver. And it's just such a, nurses are like, they work in the bottom of a boat and there's this huge gaping hole and everybody's sending them, they're throwing more and more water down the pipeline, and management is giving them a delicate Band-Aid to put over this big gaping hole. And that's what nursing is. And then we're blamed because the boat goes down. I mean, we could go to jail too. And we could lose our license because the boat went down because the bandage that they gave us didn't fit over the gaping hole. And it's our fault. Even though tons of water is being poured down in there from all the fucking shit. Some of the patients are horrible. Family patients. It's mostly the water's coming down from administration because they don't care at all. They don't care at all. I mean, they don't care. And I noticed the doctors, they spend about 2 seconds on the floor. They don't want to be up there either. Like, they don't appear to actually want to do this. And sometimes I see, because this medical system is so broken, it's like we're in total charge and we don't empower you at all. So you're not responsible for your body or your mind at all. I mean, that's completely our job. So then that's the attitude they have. But I don't think a lot of people, we see that they're not even capable of being responsible for their body and mind. It's like you're dealing with like 2-year-olds in an adult body, and it's horrifying. It's horrifying. I just had this thing where I don't I just, it's like, I don't even know how to exist in this profession anymore because the whole thing is so broken. I don't want to do another job where all I do is talk to people about, managing their heart medicine while they suck down fried chicken and Campbell soup with tons of sodium or eat tons of sugar. I mean, it's so gross to me. It always was. Like, the first thing I ever thought I wanted to do when I was like 18 was go to the Peace Corps. And I always had this like calling for international stuff and to be around different cultures. But and then I went, whatever, I'm going to go to nursing school. I went to go to nursing school, then you go to the Peace Corps. Well, yeah, I could go. I had all these loans and I'm like a trust fund baby. I'm going to go work for free. Yeah. That didn't happen. So, but the point is I had this desire to help people more that like really needed, like to tell a person like, look, if you shit in the water and then you drink downstream from that, you're probably going to get sick. And this is why, blah, 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 blah. And then that person going, really? I didn't know that. Okay, we won't do that. That's the kind of patient I wanted to have. Like, you actually bring them truth and they're like, oh, I didn't know. Thank you. I won't do that anymore. I'll do this. But that's not the kind of patients you get in the USA, or not where I work. Not at all. You can tell them, beat them over the head a million times about what to do. And they just are like, fuck it. Oh, I have lung cancer? Let me go smoke. And then they're mad because you're not letting them go smoke. I'm just like, whoop. So it's being thrust into the middle of unhealed, traumatized, irresponsible addicts. That's what it is. And it's just exhausting and it's mind-numbing. I think I process well when I speak in the video. I couldn't even write this morning. I was just literally dead. So I'm going to trust and that I'm going to be led to my next thing, because this is something that it makes me, I mean, I don't even know how to say other than it makes me just dead inside, because I see so much stuff that I'm like, I just can't even, because I'm not even helping people. I do not have time. If I'm lucky, an asthmatic that came in, okay, I listened to his lungs, okay? I did listen to his lungs, which is important. If somebody came in with like a small bowel obstruction or something like that, okay, I make sure I listen to their bowel sounds. But other than that, or maybe a heart patient or whatever, like liver, I just quickly look at their ankles, see if they're swollen. But I gotta tell you, I don't have the fucking time. I don't even have the time to do an assessment. And if a nurse asks me, well, how is their skin? You think I had any time to go look at their whole body and their skin? No. I mean, people don't even understand what it's like. You're in one room dealing with all this crisis and your phone's blowing up about all your other patients in the room. I mean, you're just running from one fire to the next. You're lucky to get all the medicine passed and the doctor's orders done. Who the fuck has time for an assessment? It's horrible. It's horrible. It's horrible. And who gets blamed for it? We do. The nurses get blamed. All right, I think I'm going to stop. Thank you.